Hello everyone, and Aquarius, you in particular. I have a request. I'm going to do a couple of request videos today. These are not channeled from the divine, so I just want to make that number one and clear. I was requested to do a video in the past about what do they call that? Cusper video. So I'm going to do a Cusper video today, and I was asked to do a health video. I cannot give legal advice or health advice, but we're just going to see what comes out in the cards, what would suggest to support your health, okay? I can never diagnose or anything like that. So to make that clear, this is going to be a reading for entertainment purposes only, just to see what comes out for the health, what could be beneficial. All right, but I do want to add a couple things, two things, one for my own personal journey, and one from, I watch a lot of near-death experience videos, and there was a lady that I watched recently who said that she was shown that rapid fire changes were coming. She kept literally saying that, and she said that she was told that meditation and eating foods that were more natural and pure, fruits and vegetables in particular, were going to be beneficial to getting through these rapid fire changes. She kept repeating that over and over and over, and she was okay with two terms. She liked calling God source, but she said she was okay with God. So just, that's the thing right there. My own personal journey, and especially with my arm health, my own personal journey, I just want to say that for me, it's been a long journey of getting myself into balance, my sugar into balance, my hormones into balance, and I have gotten myself off of medication by doing so. So I do believe in 100% that the body can heal itself, but I do believe that the body has to give itself what it needs. I've been learning, I bought the Dr. Sebi Bible, Sebi being S-E-B-I. He was kind of, he wasn't a doctor. He didn't go to medical school, but he studied, and he was from South America, I believe. And he was big time on eating herbs and fruits and vegetables that were high in alkalinity. So the way that I have learned is that illness starts first energetically. So if you are in a constant state of depression, and I even learned this from psychology books that I used to read when I was younger, because I wanted to be a psychologist. So I had a lot of clinical psychology books. And I had read that when you stay in a state of sadness for a long period of time, it can lead to illness and cancers and things like that. So number one, the very root of illness will start energetically. From my own journey, what I've learned. Then it leads to inflammation in the body, and that inflammation leads to illness. And then final thing being acidosis, okay? When your body becomes very acidic, the pH is more on the acidic side instead of the alkaline side, and it literally starts to destroy the body. So if you ever hear people who talk about stages, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, well, I would look at it like I've just named 4 stages energetically. First is energetically, then the inflammation, then the illness develops. A lot of people will find out about illness in like the 3rd stage sometimes, because, they're having problems. And then the last stage, ultimately being, if we can't correct it, it can end your being, right? So like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to clinically do any kind of diagnosis. All right, I'm just saying this is my own personal journey, what I've learned and what I've discovered by the books I've read, and just doing what I've been doing. I thought it appropriate to have my protein shake on the table because You know, we're talking about health here. So I do drink a vegan protein shake. I also use like peanut butter powder, because for me, I'm on a no sugar diet and I don't drink milk. I use almond milk or things like that because I'm reducing inflammation that causes illness. So that's my own personal journey. Now, I do have some cards that I will see how I can read this energy for you. I have some ancestor cards to ask, you know, guidance, like what the ancestors would say to help. This is only about what can help you improve your health. That's it. For entertainment purposes only. I have some cards that suggest things that might be happening in your 3D reality that could be adding to the issue here. I have some angel and crystals and numbers here that might suggest numbers you might be seeing, crystals that might help. Like in particular, this helps with headaches. This also helps if you have a test, if you're trying to meditate, or if you're trying to remember something. This amplifies, okay? This is like an amplifier of things, and it's amethyst, and this grew in the earth. It has the holes in it where they actually, I don't know if you can see it, but you can't buy this on the internet or on Wish. This literally has the holes in it where they had to drill it out of the earth. It is an authentic, in my opinion, it's authentic. It grew in the earth naturally. It is a very nasty sharp. And there's some bugs in there, or there's like little things in there that, you know, from the earth. I have marble here, and it interacts with my marble, and it leaves carbon dust, and sometimes I'll find like little particles of stone, like it's, I don't know, it's just interesting. So I have my angel from Doreen Virtuous of angel cards, angel healing or angel therapy. Let me see. You can't buy these anymore, by the way, but let me show you the box. I have cards everywhere. You just can't see them on the camera, but I have so many decks. Whenever I move, it's just going to be my clothes, my shoes, and my tarot cards, and my sunnies, and my handbags. I love my handbags. So we have Archangel Raphael healing oracle cards and angel therapy oracle cards. Like I said, you can't buy these. You might be able to buy the fake duplication off Wish, because Wish is doing a lot of duplications because they don't have any legal repercussions from it. You know, they're not here in America. So anyway, so I have several angel cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 angel decks. I'm using an angel tarot. All right, first time using it. And it's literally called Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. My very first time using it. And I'm going to open with the Kuan Yin because it's very spiritual. So what does Aquarius need to see here? What could improve Aquarians' health? What could improve their health? What could they do? What kind of advice can you give that would improve their health? Even if their health is good, that would keep them in optimum health. What could you offer here? All right, we got a card. It says, I don't know if you can see it here. It says, White Mantra, Mother Protects. So I'm going to pause this and find it in the book. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see if you can see it here. It says, White Mantra, Mother Protects. I bring you my mantra. I bring you my protection. I bring you serenity absolute. No interference can harm you. No apparent obstacle will deter you. No other can prevent your divine success. I empower your immediate return to peace of mind with unconditional trust in me. I bestow this blessing through my mantra, alive and inscribed in white light. Within your heart center, Om Mani Padme Hum. You are held in my protection, and all is well and unfolding according to my grace. Be at peace. Okay, as I was reading this, I got a message of something to grab here for you guys. But this is saying also a lot about peace and peace of mind. That would be what I was explaining about energetically. Illness starts energetically first, and it's going to have a lot to do with your thoughts, because the body follows the mind. So I was guided to, I have to pause the video. I was guided to grab my meditations book, and I'm not sure where I left it. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So this is a meditation that I'm going to do at the end. So if you want to stick around and do this, it's called the Healing Lab. It's from my book of meditations. And I will do this for you, and you can always play it back at the end of the video as many times as you want. There are several meditations in here. If you like videos like this, let me know, because I also have the pyramid and the healing lights meditation. There are several very good meditations in here. I'm actually in the process of getting my setup going, because I've bought a podcast mic and a few other things. I am going to be doing a meditation channel, along with a cooking channel, a few other things, okay? Because God has sort of guided me to expand myself so I can lift myself out of my situation. I know that you guys don't know, but I've sort of been going through stuff like you guys have too. So I'm also trying to lift myself and lift my vibration and change my life for the better. So if you're interested in this meditation, I will do it at the end of this reading. Now, I'm not going to do a typical Celtic cross reading. I'm just going to ask specifically what you can do to improve your health or improve your vibration. That's all, because we have already established through what came out through Kuan Yin, through what I was guided, that number one, it starts energetically, okay? And this has got a lot to do with your thoughts. Your body will follow your mind, so very important, okay? But your soul transcends all of that, all right? So let's get something here from Wisdom of the Oracle. Anything here that could help Aquarius when it comes to improving their health. This is for entertainment purposes only. Only for entertainment. I have the ocean here. I have the water. Salt water is very therapeutic and healing. That's one thing I love about where I live. That's what I will miss if I move. And, you know, I have been thinking about moving. Come to the edge. This reminds me of stress. This is that energy of, I can't take it anymore. I can't deal with it anymore. You know, when's things going to change? My deceased husband told me, and he always said this, he said, stress is the #1 killer. And he's absolutely right. It killed him. He was very stressed out. And a lot of people who do his profession would have heart attacks. And what my husband did was he would fix these expensive equipment for, you ever see those big, all that equipment that they put on those amplifiers in concerts? You ever see all that equipment on stage with the concerts, these expensive pieces of equipment that cost over $100,000? He used to fix that for a living. That's what he did. But it was very stressful, and it took a very specific kind of mind to do that, because your mind almost has to be wired like a puzzle, but it was so stressful. It was a lot of sitting down as well, because you're sitting or you're bending, or, you know, you don't really get to move. It's not a physical job. It's a mentally stressful job. So when I see this card, it makes me think of stress. And it makes me think of what he always used to say, that stress is the #1 killer. And I absolutely agree to that. What would your ancestors, from the ancestors deck, what do they suggest would help with the Aquarian's health here? What do the ancestors suggest would help with the Aquarian's health? tune in and connect. I just heard give your worries to God or source, whatever you believe in, the universe. I'm not here to push any of my beliefs onto you. I know sometimes I might come across too like religiously, but I'm not. Trust me, religion failed me, all right? I love God. I believe in God, source, universe, whatever. I believe it's all the same. I've had many dreams of heaven and all walks of faith being there. So I know it's not just one religion, and I do know religion divides us. But we are all connected to Source. We all have a very special and unique relationship with Source. And I heard give your worries to God. But I relate to Source as God. So it's just how they talk to me. But, give it to the universe. Give it to Source. Give it to your Creator. Give your worries up here. This is a lot about stress. This is a lot about worries and anxiety here. It's also saying, you can talk to the divine and ask to be shown the way, give you signs. Show me the way that will improve my health. And you'll be interested to see what happens in your environment, what pops up in your feed when you're scrolling on the internet, what conversations you hear around you, what people get aligned with you. Just by asking, you will get a response. You just have to have all of your senses open to hear it, to see it. And on the bottom, connect with animals. I don't know, I'm going to leave this here, but I don't know if you ever remember, I know when I was a kid, somebody told me, I don't know, I've known this for a long time, somebody told me that when you pet an animal, it relieves stress. And I always remembered that. I don't know where I picked up that information. And we have reconnect with Mother Earth. So there's a lot here about, number one, outdoors. Animals, outdoor animals, also your animals or pets. Tuning in, connecting to Source. Nature, butterflies, everything that's around you in nature. There's a lot here about that. There's a lot here about improving your stress levels. What could be going on in Aquarius 3D life that could be adding to this? I mean, anything, right? Anything. I just saw settling. Some of you guys have settled for a bad situation. Some of you have abandonment issues. I know I do, so I'm not even saying some of you. I know I definitely fell in that category. I had to get help for it. The answer is no. Some of you think that it's too late for something, okay? In your mind, you're thinking you're not able to do something, okay? And it's affecting your physical health because you feel you're not able to do something. And we have third party. Some of you are stressed out over a person who is in another connection or a third person who is involved. Now, I'm going to just give you a quick little thing with that. Sometimes a third party person is literally, another lover, another love affair, something like that, something that's highly stressful, either because we find out about it or because we're hiding that secret ourselves, right? We don't want to get caught. But sometimes that third party is a mother-in-law, a family member, a third person who lives in the house that creates stress because it's like, for instance, let's say you're living all alone and you have a family member who moves in, they have hard times, or let's say you fell on hard times, you had to move in with a family member. It all becomes a little bit stressful, okay? Third party can be a job you don't like or a person at a job. So just keep in mind what that third party can mean. But there's a lot here about stress. Stress management is going to improve your health so much. Raise your vibrations. I use this deck because I was thinking of this card. Raise your frequency. Sickness also resonates on a frequency. Every single illness is related to a frequency. And it's interesting because I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and they were talking to me about their father's liver doctor. And they said, my father had 2 liver doctors, and ironically, they had liver problems. I said, that's interesting. It's very interesting to me, because is it because they had liver, they thought, well, because they had liver problems, they could relate to people with liver problems. Maybe that's true, but maybe they were in that energy all the time. They were in that frequency all the time. Even though they're a healer, maybe they weren't able to protect themselves, shield themselves, release that energy they pick up. I mean, who knows? Remember, it all starts energetically first. Cycles. This almost reminds me of thinking about the past. You know, this person's holding a rose behind their back, and the energy is very dark. And if you look at these cards, it's like a lot is energetic here. It's about transmuting this toxic energy and raising the vibration. And it is a form of healing the planet. Just by healing yourself is a form of healing this planet. And I don't know if you know that or not. I don't know. This is why you are so important. And I forgot. I'm so sorry. I want to tell you guys, because I didn't channel this reading, so I'm starting off a little bit weird. I'm just going on a reading based on a request. You guys are so beautiful, and you're so needed in this planet. And this should remind you of how important you are. Your very well-being and happiness is so important to this planet that if you're not happy, the planet's not happy. Others around you eventually won't be happy. That's how important your happiness and your state of mind is. Thank you for being here with me. On the bottom, 3 other things that are going to help. Balancing the scales. This talks a lot about balancing sugar, balancing the energy within yourself, balancing everything. But when I see balance, it definitely reminds me of balancing hormones, balancing sugar. Hormones, the endocrine system, plays a large part in men and women's health. And with all these impurities that are on the earth and that are going in our body, it makes it very hard to have sugar and hormonal balance for men and women. A lot of people are getting diagnosed with diabetes, and it's curable through literally what they put in their body, especially type 2. A lot of young women are being, and children are being diagnosed with PCOS, which leads to infertility, but it's also ultimately a resistance to insulin. Karmic partners. Some of you are in these karmic situations. That's this third party stuff here, and it's creating a lot of stress. And it's hard to cope. And I'm telling you, I've been in these situations where I had to be around people I didn't meld with, get along with, but I was living with them. Things started off great, kind of went south. It was karmic for me, but I was also karmic for them. It wasn't just one-sided. We were karmic for each other, but then here we are stuck in this negative toxic energy. Then people start literally getting unwell. Forgiveness is another part of it, letting stuff go. I know we're talking about health, but you know, for those of you on a twin flame journey, because I have a lot of people drawn to me who are part of twin flames and don't even know it. I met my twin flame after I had forgiven someone, and since I've met them, I've been ascending and ascending. And I started my whole tarot thing because of my twin. They were the catalyst for me ascending. Will I always do tarot? I don't know. But it started with forgiveness. There was such a burden lifted off my shoulder when I forgave. And, you know, I read the comments. It's hard for people to forgive some things. But I'm telling you, it's possible. It's possible just to give it up. You can't change the things that happen to you. But you can transmute that energy. You can give it to source. You can say, I can't handle this no more. I'm done with this energy. Just take it from me. I don't want to be in it. I don't want this energy. I don't want to be in the dark night of the soul if I'm in separation from my twin. I don't want to be confused about what my purpose is. I don't want to be living with this karmic people anymore. You know, help me learn my lesson really quick so that I can move on and transcend from this. You have a lot of options just by giving all of your worries to source. and just, talking to source. That's literally what I had to do, because I felt I was hopeless. I felt like, number one, when I was provoked by my twin flame and all these changes started happening in my life, starting with my career, my marriage, everything got questioned in my life. Everything changed. It was gradual, and it's still to this day changing. I had to give a lot of forgiveness. I had to forgive my rapists. I had to forgive my abusers. I had to forgive all the people who have done me wrong. And I had to forgive myself for the person that I became and how I behaved as a result of these other things that happened to me. I was a victim and I acted like a victim. I had to transmute all that stuff. Interesting, my health improved after, because I started feeling better, and then I wanted to do better in my body. Because as a person who went through a rape, I didn't want to be attractive. So there were times in my life where I had gained weight. I didn't want to be attractive to people. When I was 15, I almost got abducted twice from the town that I still currently live in. Twice. Once at where I lived and once at the beach. Someone tried to put me in their car and steal me. So I gained a mindset. I didn't want to be attractive to people. I had to heal all that and trust. I couldn't go out anywhere alone for a long time. I'm still paranoid about it, but I forced myself to. I had to give it up to source here. I'm like, I need a life. I can't live like this. I came to the edge. Everything here about improving your health is talking about stress management. Let's pull from what is this one? Raphael, it's the green one here. Archangel Raphael healing. What else can help Aquarius health? Detoxification. Detoxification, just what I've been talking about here. Detoxification. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for clearing up my body, mind, and life so that I may happily and healthfully live free of chemicals. So this talks a lot about chemicals, what goes in the body, which I kind of tapped into when the beginning of this, like on my own journey. It's even like my chiropractor says, even they're doing it, they're like, the closer you eat to the earth. But for me, it's organic, because they do spray a lot of pesticides on crops. For me, if you have dirt anywhere you can plant in your own yard or apartment and planters, you know what's in that soil, because they even say even organic food has small percentages of glyphosate, whatever that stuff is in Roundup, in America anyway. Inner authority. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for supporting me as I take my power back and listen to my intuition, desires, and feelings. So this talks about energy, energetically. 2 things you can do to improve your health, or 3 things. What it's saying right here, 3 things. It's energetically raise your vibration, give your stress and worries to God, forgive the things that have happened to you, forgive yourself for what you may have done. Pay attention to what goes inside of your body. I was watching a story of a man who was from Greece, but he was living here in America for many, many years. He became overweight and he got older in age, and he just couldn't, he had cancer. He was stage 4. That's like what I was talking about, this acidosis, when our pH balance becomes more on the acidic side instead of the alkaline. He wasn't even in balance. He went to the acidic side. So he didn't want to, pass away before seeing his family. So he went back home to Greece for 3 months. Did you know that man came back cured? Eating the Mediterranean diet. Over there, they didn't have all of this stuff that we have where I'm from in America. We have a lot of bad stuff in our food. Cured. I wish I would have known this because I lost my father to cancer, but I was very young and I didn't know any of this. Anything else? Oh, wow. Well, what are these cards? Where's this box? This is angel therapy cards. This has a lot to do with, these came face down, so these that came face down, I'll just quickly go through them because they might not be meant for you. It says, clear yourself, ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. Now, I do have a book of angels written by Sylvia Brown, and from what I've read, angels, they're angels who can, they will scan your frequency. You can ask for your angels to come and help you in your healing, in your health, or whatever could be wrong in your body, and to help you release toxic energies. Again, once this happens, pay attention to what happens around you. Do you get a thought in your mind about a certain person? Like when it happened with me, I was getting thoughts about my stepmom. My stepmom was terribly abusive to me. It's a miracle I survived her. Those kind of energies you could be holding on to. It's just an example. We have indigo. The person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive natural born leader. Some of you are indigos and you're very sensitive to energy, but you were also brought here to raise the vibration of the planet. But getting here and then this toxic energy and this toxic planet has made you sick, because it isn't just about your own energy. You were born into a toxic place, and it's really hard to get out of that, and it's hard to awaken. Crown chakra. Pay attention to your ideals, as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in an answer to your prayers. And that's what I just said. When you ask for the angels to clear your energy, when you give your stuff to the divine, start paying attention to the messages that come in. Because as you raise your frequency and vibration, you get closer to the divine. Your third eye chakra opens, because a lot of people have calcified pineal gland. That's that eye of Horus that they talk about, that, you know, it looks like the eye of Horus. That's where they say the God center is in you. If you're full of negative energy and toxic impurities, that gets blocked. 5G doesn't help that. Internet, wireless, none of that helps that. That's why going outside is real important as well. And then we have third eye chakra. It's safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. And you might literally start getting visions. You might literally be able to see an angel. I have literally seen an angel in my real life float in front of me while being 100% awake. It's possible. Okay, it's possible. Cancel, clear, delete. Use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. And that's what I was saying in the beginning here. You can ask the angels to help you to cancel the effects of negative thinking. It's here. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of negative thinking. It's here twice. Integrity. Align your actions so they match your values. So don't think one way and do another way. Live the life you believe you should be living. Live it with integrity. Because that's living a life of a good conscience. That's having a life of clear consciousness. Not having regret for what you've done, because you're like, you know what, I've been doing my best. And it doesn't matter if you screwed up in the past. Give that stuff to the divine. Ask to be helped and to release that. Be able to forgive yourself and forgive others. And from this day forward, move on in integrity, doing the best for yourself and for others. One foot in front of the other. One moment at a time. Not one day at a time. One moment, 1 second at a time. Because all you've got is right here, right now. You don't got tonight, and you don't got tomorrow morning. You don't got yesterday, and you don't got next week. You don't know what you got, but you got right now. Sacral chakra. There's a lot here to do about chakras. You are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, and processed foods and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities and avoid harsh items, situations, and relationships. This is all about energy. This is all about what we put in our body. It's about forgiveness, and it's about connecting to source. And if you're a star seed, if you're part of a twin flame, you are a star seed. You signed on to make this place better, and indigos are star seeds. Crystal children are star seeds. Rainbow children are star seeds. They are part of the 3 volunteers, the waves of volunteers that Dolores Cannon talks about, signing up to make this place better. But like I said, we got here and it was toxic, and it's made it hard for us to awaken. We've become addicted and toxic ourselves. This is why also twin flames aren't coming into union. One of the reasons, it's energetic. It's hard to get that energetic balance. And it's a main contributor to bad health. Manifestation. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. Health. Be specific. Your eyes, your gut. I've learned in my journey, gut bacteria is very important. That's why I used to have occasional glass of wine, like I would have a glass of Merlot or something like that. Sometimes I would have like a shot, you know, in the holidays, like a little shot of alcohol or something. I none of it. Because alcohol kills the gut bacteria. It's not good because your gut bacteria is part of your longevity. Past life issues. Some of you are carrying around past life residue here. This situation has been in one of your other lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, and learn from your past life experience. Some of us here are repeating something that we have to learn that we didn't learn from a past life, and it's a past life residue. It's a cell memory that we're carrying over. If you do this and you still can't remember, you know, maybe you will be open to like past life hypnosis regression. You are profoundly clairvoyant, and starseeds are. And every person, especially the divine feminines that I've worked with, that I've done readings for or whatnot, I have found out they're very psychically gifted. They just awakening has a lot to do with this for them. So it says, trust what you see in your mind's eye as well as your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guiding others. As you cleanse out this energy, eat better, put good things in your body, organic stuff, you're going to get a lot. I feel you're going to get visions. I feel you're not even going to need tarot. You're just going to be you and source, and you're just going to be right there. And crystals. The energy of crystals support you and help you with your present situation. So I'm glad I was guided to use these crystals right here. And we're going to do that right now. Because tarot, I don't think I really need much tarot. I'm not doing a whole spread. I'm just going to see if anything wants to come out to add to this. This is a different kind of reading. So please show Aquarius what crystals can help them in their healing process specifically. And I was just told it's going to be different. So we'll see. Maybe this is going to be the majority. Because I'm seeing a lot of pink. And I'm seeing a lot of root. I'm seeing a lot of, you know, like, for me it's like heart. And I'm seeing black tourmaline. We'll see what wants to come out. What can help Aquarians right now? Doesn't want to come out, because I feel like a lot want to come out, but it's like, yeah, I knew it. I felt that. I felt that. These specifically landed on the indigo and clear yourself in crystals over here. So this is going to help clear, I feel, the energetic part of you. I'm guided to tell you, I was watching a video by a woman. She lives in Australia. She's a doctor, and she specifically deals in like women's hormonal health and this and that. And she talks about, you know, we all think if we drink water that we're hydrated, but she talks about the water in the body being, you know, crystalline, and that if you can get Celtic salt, and just like if you were doing a tequila shot and you just put a little salt here on you and you just lick it. She was just saying, just kind of do that, lick it, and then drink the bottle of water. because body absorbs, because that is a it's in the Gatorade, that type of salt. It's I don't know if it's Celtic salt, but the Celtic salt has marine minerals, and she talks about when you do that, it helps the body to absorb the water. And she said it's because most people will just drink water and they don't have that that nutrient to absorb it, so they just urinate it out. But if you take that Celtic salt and just take a little lick of it, not a lot, just like a little lick of it, and then drink the water, then it helps the body to absorb it. So I was guided to say that. Anyway, we got Read the Energy, Crystal Masters 333, Ascended Master Merlin, and Mystic Merlinite. So this is a stone of Merlinite. You don't have to buy these stones. You can go online, look at a picture, and meditate to it. You might be seeing the numbers 333 a lot. And it is about reading the energy. So it might help you to read your own energy, to get in touch with the divine. Okay, it might help to clear your energy. And then we have sacral, or sacred, and this is like root chakra, and then this is like the throat chakra color here. So that would be expressing that. This is root chakra color, okay, and it's Goddess Basset and Cat's Eye. So Cat's Eye, Sacred Pleasure, Crystal Goddess 888. So this is also healing, and I'm guided to tell you this. Any of you in a twin flame connection, whether you realize it or not, if you've met somebody and it was the best connection that you ever had and you can't explain it, that you might have thought you were the other person, someone might have done a love spell here, like it's that connection. You feel drawn and pulled, you don't understand why. Ghosting could have been involved, you still think about the person. From what I've learned in my journey, twin flame journey, when I took the course, and things that I've studied online, if the energy between twin flames becomes toxic, twin flames can become sick. How that manifests is different. So when I see 888, it makes me think of that, because I get these numbers a lot for twin flames. Me personally, in my twin flame journey, I see 808 all the time. Every day, multiple times a day. 808. So it is a symbol of infinity, which is related to twin flames because it's infinity. You never part from your soul. That's why it's part of this infinity, because a twin flame is one soul, two bodies. So if there's anything toxic between you and your twin, any unbalanced energy, which a lot of them have, I do a lot of readings about this, that can also lead to some sort of illness. Doesn't mean it will, take you out, but it can be chronic. We have here more throat chakra with the blue. And it says Ascended Master Leo Zincsite, I don't know. TZU and Zincsite. And it says Descending Power, Crystal Master 333. So there's a lot here about the throat chakra and 333. Okay. And then we have here root chakra. So I'm getting throat and root chakra. And it says Goddess Ishtar and Astrophyllite, I'm so sorry if I said it wrong. And it says Darling Rebirth, Crystal Goddess 888. So there's a lot here with that. Now I'm going to get into the tarot, and we're just going to see any advice to add to this. Then I'm going to pause the video, open up the book, do the meditation. If you don't want to be part of that meditation, you can just click off when I'm done with this tarot part or whatever. All right. Ace of Air, Clarity, Two of Air. All right. This is a lot about which path. I've been getting a lot of this. What path? All right. This is the thoughts here. This is the guidance. What do I do? What do I do to improve my health? What do I do to be happy? What direction do I go? Do I wait? Do I go? Limbo. Literally, when a person is stuck in thought, it is a form of limbo. It is a form of non-movement, stagnicity. So it's very important to get clarity here. All right. And I think this meditation is going to help because it is the healing lab, and it's a 2-page meditation. All you have to do is listen and think of the words that I say. Close your eyes, sit comfortably in a chair, and just listen. That's all you have to do, and you can replay it back. I may put a timestamp in for the meditation. That way, if you ever just want to revisit the video, you can just click on the timestamp for the meditation part. High Priestess, intuition, wisdom, patience. That's what this is talking about. It's about following your intuition. You'll be guided, because there might be some foods you're allergic to, and they might literally be very good foods, but you might be allergic to them. For instance, nightshade vegetables affect arthritis in some people. And in my family, we grew up on a lot of potatoes, and I actually had 2 cousins who committed suicide because they had arthritis and pain so bad they couldn't bear it. They didn't know it was potato related, because back in their day, food allergies weren't tested, but they ate a ton of potatoes. And I don't know, nobody ever put it together. I think I put it together because my grandmother told me. She's like, yeah. And they committed suicide, both of them. They could not handle the pain. And when I started doing my own research, I was looking at pain, because they could never find where the pain came from when my cousins went to the doctor, and they were both females. And it's just my own sort of perception that I feel it was potatoes. And I feel when I eat certain foods, because I'm trying to find other forms of protein, when I eat, what's the name of that brown bean? Pinto beans. I love pinto beans, right? Refried beans and bean dip, it's made from pinto beans. But if I eat pinto beans, the next day I am stiff. I can barely move. And they're healthy. They're vegan. But they affect me very toxically. So this is going to be follow your intuition. Because there might be something very healthy, but it ain't healthy for you. So that's how I would take it. And then be patient when you start this journey, because it takes time to clear up this energy. Okay? And meditation, what you put in your body, forgiveness, giving your stress to source, has a lot to do with improving your health here, and even restoring it to pristine health. Reflection, self-evaluation, rebirth, renewal. But it came out in reverse. And I feel like this is a card of judgment. It came out in reverse. And I feel like it's saying, don't be harsh on yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't kick yourself. Don't say I shoulda, I woulda, I coulda, I wish I could turn back time. All that stuff is negative on you. I feel like it's saying here, don't pass judgment on yourself and the world. Accomplishment, celebration, completion. The Empress and the Moon. Now the Moon came out in reverse. So some of you, when I got the High Priestess here and I got the Moon here reversed, there's a very similar energy. It's like saying, express yourself. I'm hearing that song by Madonna from the 80s, express yourself. Hey, 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 express yourself. Creation, abundance, action, the Empress. Remember who you are. You are the divine energy. You are the mother. You are the one who gives birth to people, to ideals. You are the one who spreads the love. You are the one who attracts the love. Remember this. And as this person here is in this Empress energy, they attract all this goodness, but they also send out all this goodness. And look how the earth is so green around this Empress, because this Empress is in that loving divine energy. And here, it's like a guardian of earth here. And it is what a lot of us have signed on for, and a lot of us are indigos, especially if you're older generation, especially if you're born, I feel like, I don't even want to put a time. I don't like putting time, because my son's an indigo and he was born in the 90s. But I'm just saying, a lot of us are indigos. There's a lot of purple here, and we are very sensitive to the environment, okay? And we have this very special purpose. I'm going to do one last angel card. I'm going to pause the video, get the time that we're at, so that I can timestamp the meditation. And it says, Mystique, keep charging ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. Expect miracles. I'm not here to tell you who to listen to and not listen to, but I'm just telling you, I was told some things in life and I've transmuted them. I've proved them wrong in their industry. That's me, my opinion, entertainment purposes only. So I'm going to pause the video and then I'm going to read the meditation. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now we're going to start the meditation. If you want, you can focus on the crystal, the candle. Find a comfortable place to sit. You don't have to get on the floor. Everything is going to be in your mind. So sit where you can be comfortable. No arms or legs crossed. Just be very comfortable, okay? You can even close your eyes if you don't want to look at this and just listen to my voice. This meditation is called the Gold and Purple Lights of the Divine. Nothing disturbs you. Nothing bothers you. Feel yourself go into a tiny room, small but not closed off. Sit on the floor of this room inside yourself and feel the presence of the divine. You are the spark of the divine. This feeling begins to push upward, and the whole room is filled with light that radiates through every part of your physical being, which is nothing more than a faulty vehicle at best. But it houses your spirit, so you will keep it running as best as you can for as long as possible. Let that light rinse out all your problems with finances, children, in-laws, living situations, fear of the unknown, or the fear of being hurt. Rinse away all phobic terrors. And in this room, begin now to bring in, one at a time, those whom you wish to protect. Bring in those who need betterment in their lives and those whom you wish to heal. Let that light bathe the sick, the ill, or the just. You want to protect or remember, even if it's yourself. Bathe yourself and them in the shafts of gold and purple light. All are illuminated. Feel yourself to be omnipresent and feel the truth that lies within your own heart, your Christ center, your Gnosticism. All the ravages of fear, antagonism, and revenge begin to drop away. Nothing will hurt you. Surround yourself with white, gold, purple lights throughout your body and the atmosphere. Begin to breathe in very deeply and feel the power. When everything is relaxed, feel that you are opening up to the very top of your head. Energy is coming through and spreading golden light all the way down through your head, face, and shoulders, as it were golden chocolate or honey dripping slowly down your body, encompassing you and healing. And you feel strength. You feel no fear or anxiety. You are breathing in and out, sensing a quiet peace. You feel the light drip down your back, thighs, knees, ankles. You are now suffused with golden, liquid feeling of quiet peace. Nothing disturbs you. Nothing bothers you. You are cocooned within the light. And I want you to feel the color blue. Blue is tranquil, peaceful, and calming. Now take a bright green light and put it right down the middle of your torso, where all your chakras are, the pineal, pituitary, thyroid, pancreas, and reproductive chakras. As the green light moves down, you relax even further. You are descending on an elevator. 10, you feel going deeper. 9, nothing disturbs you. 8, the God consciousness is growing. 7, the spirit is moving within you. 6, no illness is in your body. 5, Your breathing is regular. 4. Drop in. 3, 2, 1, 0. You get off the elevator, and there is a blue carpet that feels marvelous beneath your bare feet. You pad down the hallway until you get to the door. Knock, and it shall be opened to you, as Jesus said. Push open the door and enter a beautiful blue room. In the ceiling is a circular stained glass skylight with the colors of gold, green, white, purple, and blue. You walk into the room and you are very aware of a gurney in the center with a white sheet. You hop on the gurney and lie there staring up at the beautiful stained glass, which begins to move, to rotate. There is sunshine behind that stained glass. Now the colored rays of light hit you like pinwheels. First the blue, royal, strong, and calming. Gold, spiritual, and high-minded. Purple, the highest form of all spirituality, bringing your God center intact. White, for purity and the Holy Spirit. Finally, green circulates through your whole body, healing every infected cell. Out of the shadows steps your guides, doctors who can heal and administer to you. They lovingly approach the table and put their hands on you, holding and caring for you. They have touched every affected area in your body, perhaps including places you are unaware of. In this healing lab, you are made vibrantly well by their hands. Allow the colors to spiral and circulate through your whole body. You can put anyone else who is ill in this lab, and through your visualization, you can experience the very same healing that you just did. You feel so at peace. There is nothing to fear. You are never really alone, although you may feel that way. May be born live and die unattended, but you are never alone. Our world is populated by spirits who love you and by a God who could never stop loving you, who holds you constantly in warmth of his heart. Also a Christ consciousness that emanates through you, and a Holy Spirit penetrates every cell. Say to yourself now, I am healed and unafraid. I am fervently inspired. I am whole, positive, and loving. I am healed and unafraid. I hope this meditation helps you. I'm sorry for the beeping. It's my weather station and it's getting ready to storm. I love you guys and namaste.